My bread and butter over this past year has been fast turn content. If you're not familiar with what fast turn content is, it's whenever you're on-site shooting and then you edit while you're on site and give it to the client as fast as possible. I'm talking within 15 to 20 minutes of something happening. It's got to get on social media immediately if it's going on stories or if it's a real-time project like the NFL or like these Under Armour camps that I've been shooting. In order to get the best product when it comes to fast turn content, you do need some gear, but it mostly comes down to preparation and being ready to turn things around quick. Before I break it down, this is what my workflow looks like. I'll get the shots, run back to my home base, dump the footage. Once I have the footage on my computer, I'll import it into Premiere and put it in the timeline that is already waiting for me that I prepared earlier in the day. I'll copy and paste the color that I also prepared earlier. I'll then add a speed ramp or some music if the edit calls for that. Then I'll export, airdrop it to my phone, and send it to the client. As simple as that. Now let's break down everything about this and how I actually pull it off, starting with gear. There's some gear that you're gonna need for this, and it's gonna be fast, and fast typically is more expensive. Whether it's laptops, hard drives, the faster, the better, and that means a higher price tag. Hate to break it to you, but don't let that discourage you because it is possible with slower computers. First thing you're gonna need is a laptop, ideally a MacBook Pro so that you have AirDrop. With that laptop, you wanna make sure you have a charger on you because you're going to be using your laptop a lot throughout the day and you wanna be able to maintain power no matter what. Next thing is a hard drive. Ideally here, you're gonna have an SSD. I like the Samsung T7 SSDs. They've just treated me well throughout the years and they end up being my workhorse. SSDs are better than these big clunky hard drives because they work faster and they're actually smaller so you can fit them in a sling bag or just fit them in your pocket if you need to. Throughout this process, you're also gonna be dumping footage. So we're gonna need card readers for our memory cards. I like to have one that's for my computer. So that might be the CF Express Type B, which is what my R5 shoots on, to the USB-C. And then you also want one that goes to your phone. I like to shoot on SD cards when I know I'm dumping to the phone. I'll only ever dump photos to my phone. Videos end up being a little bit clunky. I know you can do it, but it just never turns out how I want, and I like to put a little bit of color on my videos. So for that, I'm gonna get an SD card to the Lightning port, or with this new iPhone that was just announced, we got USB-C. We might not even need 2 dongles. For memory cards, I highly recommend having multiple, at least 2, because whenever you're dumping, you don't wanna be limited to not shooting. I know you're probably doing one at a time, but if you're dumping footage and then a big moment starts happening that you have to run to immediately, you don't want to pull your card out while it's dumping because you're going to risk losing all of your footage. If you have multiple memory cards, you can pop another one in the camera, run away, and your footage is still downloading to your computer. Other thing you'll need is obviously a camera, but we're not here to talk about cameras today. As mentioned before, preparation is absolutely essential when it comes to fast turn content. Some things are you preparing by yourself, and some things are communicating with the client so that you guys can get the best final product possible. First thing, as you show up on site, you want to find a home base. Ask the client where a good spot is for you to put your bags. If they're unsure, just find a corner. Ideally, find a spot that has an outlet. That's the bare minimum. I love having power so I can keep my laptop plugged in all day. You might be under a tent like I am at the camps. You might have an entire room. You might just be shoved in a closet, but you want somewhere to keep your bag and keep your gear throughout the day so that's not constantly shifting around. In a perfect world, you also get the Wi-Fi password, but a lot of times there's not good Wi-Fi that you can actually use. So have your phone hotspot connected to your laptop and ready to go. After you have your space all set up and ready to go, you want to start getting your timelines prepped. So check this out. We're in Premiere here, UA Next, that's my client, Oztech Media. They hire me to shoot for UA Next. I'm gonna go ahead and click Command N. This is a new timeline. I like to go 4K vertical. This is a preset. You see all the details right here. You can steal those, go for it. Don't really mind. Name it Prep. Okay, so we have that timeline ready to go. Right here, what can we do to get ready even more? 2 additional things that I like to get ready here are color and then music if I need it. In this case specifically, not really working with music a whole lot since we're going to be using the natural audio that is captured, so don't have to think about that. But right here, you see some early clips that I shot throughout the day. There's really no intention of me using these for stories or for posts for us to use, but I shot them so then I can pull just a random part of it and we're gonna import it down into the timeline. right here, I'm gonna go in and we see the true colors. Obviously, the clouds might change throughout the day. There might be some changing elements throughout the day, but we can get a good base so that whenever we're working fast and things are becoming more chaotic, we don't have to worry about changing our workflow. So then I'll go ahead and I'll go into my Lumetri color and just make some minor adjustments. Right here, I wasn't really pumped about it, so I like to use the Phantom LUTs. This is not paid at all. They're just really good LUTs. I actually use FX6 LUTs on my R5. I know it might not be correct, but it works for me. So I go creative, browse to import my LUT, go to my SSD, Phantom LUTs. I like these. I like the Vision FX6 Legacy. Boom, way too much. Make the minor adjustments. All right, maybe warm it up a little bit. And I like where we're at here. Might be a little bit dark, but the sky is bright. We got the black jerseys. We don't want anything to be too dark or too bright. It's a starting point. We're gonna make minor tweaks throughout the day. Something else I like to do before the shoot actually starts. Let's catch football. Me and my boy Tony, we're out there throwing it around a little bit, stretching out, getting ready. It just makes it fun. Catching on Under Armour's field, come on. Doesn't get much better than that. Now moving on to shooting and how you can be intentional about getting the content out fast and how you can shoot to actually benefit you moving forward. Whenever I'm hired to do video on site and do that for fast turn, I like to get at least 2 or 3 clips before I go back to dump. Another crutch that I use that you can call a crutch or not is I like to go slow-mo. One thing about the R5 that I don't really love is that it doesn't have audio whenever you're recording in 120. So a lot of the time I'll go 4K 60 and then I'll slow that down, but I still have audio. So if it's for a story, we can do something like this. Add the clip, put a minor speed ramp, maybe a low pass filter. That's what I did on this. And then get the clip out. Colors there. Sound design's there, speed ramp's there, ready to go. When it comes to photos, I like to have my dongle. Let me grab it. When it comes to photos, I like to have something like this on me. This is a lightning cable for my iPhone to a micro SD and an SD. It's a very efficient way to dump immediately. So right here, let's do it. We'll be very quick, I promise. I'm just gonna pop this random memory card in that was sitting on my desk. I think there's just video, but we can import video for the sake of the example. Open up the phone, we're gonna go to the Photos app. Right here, we're gonna go to import. Import is not always there. It's just there because we have an SD card in the camera. I have a bunch of real estate shoots on here that I had the other day. So I'm just gonna click on a random clip here and we're gonna go to import in the top right. Import selected. It's gonna think about it. It's gonna go. When it's photos, it's gonna be much faster. Once this pops up, click keep. It's just gonna make your life easier when you're dumping. You don't wanna delete it off the card. Go to albums, and this is where your video is going to live. We'll do some minor edits inside of just the Photos app. As you see right here, if you watched my video about shooting for the Red Stars, this is a photo I dumped straight into my phone, made some edits, and as you can see, I just straight up edited it in my camera roll. Look, adjustments are already there, ready to go. I know it's not the most glamorous way, but it's going to be faster than going into Lightroom Mobile. Just add some contrast, add some saturation, you'll be ready to rock. Now we have our video clips and we're ready to go. Import all of your clips that you have on your camera to the computer. It might be tempting to just grab the couple that you know you're going to use, but all it's going to do is make you unorganized and it's going to make your life harder whenever the shoot's actually done. So grab the entire folder. An easy way to keep you from importing the same clips over and over again. Keep in mind, I'm on Canon. We're going to use my EOS R to show you. Right here, menu, we're going to go down to that wrench. Then we're going to go to select folder, create folder. Okay, so now all of your new clips are going to go into that folder that we're trying to put them in. This is going to make our life very easy so that we know we already dumped R5.1. So now R5.2 is what we're going to grab. Grab that entire folder, drag it onto your hard drive. Next thing we'll do, we'll import that into Premiere. We'll grab the color from that clip that we already prepped with, copy, paste, add speed ramps if you need to, and then export. Once I export that video, I'm gonna airdrop it to my phone. And now this brings us to delivering to the client. That's the real important part. That's why we're there. There's 2 different cases whenever you're working with clients. Sometimes they'll be on site and sometimes they'll be off site, but either way, you need to get them that content fast. First, let's talk on site. When the client is on site, I like to go as simple as airdropping them that clip. It can be coming from my phone, computer, but that's going to get it to them in the highest resolution to the device that they're going to be posting on. If you're both on site, but they're across the field and you need to go somewhere else, send it to them via iMessage. Sometimes it compresses, sometimes it doesn't. I would push you to try to avoid sending them links to download on their phone. Workflow just becomes tough, and it's something you can avoid. AirDrop is your best friend whenever the client is on site that's going to be posting. If the client's off site that's going to be posting, your life just became a little bit harder, but it's still not that big of a deal. What I've used in the past with my different clients is Slack. Slack makes it very easy for you to upload your clips and send them to the whole group, so whoever needs access to that clip is right there. One thing to note when using Slack is make sure you check the box in the settings so you can send the highest quality videos or photos. If you don't want to send through Slack, you can text it, but I push you not to because it tends to compress it. Use whatever delivery system you typically use. If it's Google Drive, Dropbox, if you can work quick, it is what it is. They're going to have to figure it out on their end, but the quality you're delivering is still great and you're being quick. It is worth noting, push your clients to be on site or grant somebody who's going to be on site the access to the account that's going to be being posted on. It makes life a whole lot easier when everybody is right there. And once again, AirDrop is your best friend. And that's it. We have fast turn content for festivals, football games, sporting events, whatever it may be. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. Like this video. I know it means nothing to you, but it really helps me and the channel grow. And like always, here are a few photos that I've taken throughout the past week that I really like. Peace.